Hello beautiful beings, welcome back to my channel. I have here quite a few notes because I wanted to have this work. Excuse me, my voice is it's been very cold here. Temperature is starting to drop and they're still not very consistent giving heat, so my apartment has been very cold and my voice is kind of like getting a hit. But we're gonna move along. You guys know I have several videos, EFT tapping and meditations, catering to abandonment. If you guys have followed my journey, abandonment was one of the biggest, in my opinion, was one of the biggest wounds, traumas that I had, and I fully understand, okay? So if you're coming to my channel to work on that, then I just want you to know, I got you. I understand. I feel like abandonment trauma is something, it can be very deep, and I feel like a lot of people might not be so very well equipped on working with it and talking about it if they haven't fully gone through it themselves and seen all the layers that there is to be able to heal this pain. So in this video, we're going to talk about a new form. It's not a new form, it's part of the EFT tapping world, but it is not talked as often, this technique. So you guys know that I am once again getting I think at the end of it I'm gonna be, I don't even know how to say multiple, like how do you say that? Leave me a comment. How do you say when you have multiple certifications on the same thing? How would I say that? But this is my second, and I have like 2 more that I want to take just because they go more in depth into different things of EFT tapping practitioner courses. So the one that I'm currently on is in Spanish. And it's so interesting because a lot of this information I have already read in English, but in Spanish it's sort of like hitting differently because Spanish is my first language. So I guess there is something there. And one of the reasons for me to take this class in Spanish was because, number one, I wanted to become more acquainted with the terminology in Spanish. I learned about law of assumption, healing, trauma work, and all of this in English. And I find myself kind of like lost for words when I'm trying to explain the same things in Spanish. So I took it more for the terminology. And, you know, so that in the future, I am able to better serve my community and my people. So one of the things that, well, the main thing actually that I want to talk about in this video is how do we get to the root of the abandonment trauma and how do we finally, for once and for all, heal it. So I have a video that talks about the dark side of the moon, like my is that what it's called? Dark side of the moon. I'm a little bit all over the place right now, sorry guys. But I really wanted to get this video out to you guys where it talks about how I tapped into a memory that, to my opinion at that time, was the biggest abandonment memory that I had. And so I tapped into that memory. I tapped as I was doing a technique where you use a memory to tap through it. And that led me to processing, kind of like I was processing and kind of like having detox symptoms for like 3 months because I'm going to be 40 I'm going to be 40 in December, at the end of December, you guys. And so this was something that happened to me when I was a little girl. So I had a lot to unpack there. And so what a lot of times happens is that we do these EFT tappings, or we do these you know, this work that has its value on healing abandonment. But what happens is you might heal part of it and then you will find yourself sort of like happening to you again and again and again which because you're healing part of it, which is beneficial, but you're not healing the full root of it. And this is talked about in the teachings that I'm taking. It mentions, let's see abandonment as a table, right? So it mentions the abandonment pain or the abandonment trauma as the symptom, right? It sort of sees it as the top of a table. So it's being your abandonment trauma, your abandonment pain is being sustained, the legs, by specific events that have happened to you that has created the abandonment, right? So when you neutralize or you remove the energetic, the energetic pain attached to those memories, when you neutralize those memories, the table falls down. Okay? So this is going to be sort of like a little project for you. I want you to take a pen and paper after watching this video. And I want you to pick whatever it is that you're struggling the most that you want to work on. This one is specific for abandonment, but of course you could do it for something else. And I want you to write down events that happened to you where you felt abandoned. Okay? And of course, I want you to go to your oldest memories first. Because what you will see is that as you neutralize the oldest first, a lot of the times by default it neutralizes the smaller events in the future. Does that make sense? Like if we're in a timeline, you neutralize the biggest thing because it's the one that happened at your earliest age, and then it knocks down by default a lot of the smaller ones. So I want you to take pen and paper, and I want you to write down those events. You don't have to write down the event. Just say, mother left me or father left or something, right? You're going to write those down. And what you're going to do is you're going to do the movie technique. If you were working with me, which is actually something that I think I'm going to start offering, kind of like just to heal those things with that specific tapping form technique. If you were to do this with me, you would tell me your story. So as you recite your story, we would be tapping together and neutralizing the story. So if you're going to do this by yourself, which you most certainly can, I want you to pick an event at a time. And you're going to, in your mind, go through the event. You're going to see it with your mind's eye as a movie, as if it's a movie playing in your mind. And as you see the movie go, you are tapping through the points. When you get to that climax, when you get to that point of the movie that is the most painful for you, that's going to have the biggest energetic signature. You're going to stop and you're going to do a full round of tapping just on that part of the movie. Does that make sense? So you're saying you're going through your movie. So I was walking down the street and it was sunny and I wasn't in school today, whatever it is. You're tapping. When you get to that energetic point, that climax of whenever that situation happened, you're going to stop and you're going to do a full session. Even though this happened to me, I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. When you go through the full round, right? And then you're not going to keep going with the movie. No. You're going to go back and start again. You're going to walk and start again. And you're going to keep stopping there until you feel like you can go through that part of the movie without any emotional intensity. Does that make sense? I'm going to say it again. You're going to start seeing within your mind your movie, and you're going to start tapping as you look at the movie, going through, tapping through the points. When you get to that point in the movie that is painful for you, you're going to stop and you're going to go back to the point 1, and you're going to say, because that's the painful point for you, even though this happened to me, whatever it is, even though my mom left, even though this, I truly, deeply, and completely love, honor myself, my son. I go through the whole thing. Take a breathe, take a little break, and then you start again from the beginning. Na 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 na. If you get to that point and you still feel an energetic charge, you stop and you do it again. From the beginning. Even though I feel, take a break, breathe. At this point you might be crying, release it. You don't have to do it all at the same time either. You release it, you cry it out, breathe, move your body to the, release all that energy, shake your hands, shake your head. And you're going to keep doing that, starting at the beginning of the movie. The beginning of the movie, you're going to keep going. Once you are able to pass through that point without an energetic charge, you keep going until you get to the end of the movie. And that is how you remove the energetic charge from a memory. When I did it with my practitioner, I was with him, so I was going through the movie with him. And every time I would feel a charge, I would stop and I would start again. And this might take a few days, and you might not want to do this alone, which you don't have to. I'm just giving you guys the instructions. I'm arming you guys with the tools. You have the tools. It is up to you to know if you want to do it yourself, which you can for certain parts, and for other parts you can do it with me or with whoever you feel more comfortable with. I hope this was helpful as you neutralize each event. You break down the table. The belief goes bye-bye. And I love you guys. I believe in you guys. As I learn, I teach. I think this is extremely helpful, extremely beneficial. I feel like people don't speak about this technique as often as they should, because it's a more sort of like upscale technique. If you want to work with me on the movie technique, you can reach out to me. My information is always in the description box below. Leave me any comments. What do you think about this video? What other videos do you want to watch? Do you love this video? Leave me comments. I love you guys. And until next time, bye.